Paul was a tent maker, you know. He probably didn't like that because that was work. But he made tents, and he wouldn't. I know he didn't weave into the fabric, you know, Psalms, so that when you went down to pick up your tent, all of a sudden you put the thing up and you go, oh, you're kidding me. You know, I've got the Psalms across the side of my tent. No, he just made really good tents. You know, he made good tents. You know, so they weren't Christian, proto-Christian tents. They were tents. So you know, when I'm writing my novels, I'm just doing the very best job that I can to tell the best story I can, and within the weave of that story is who I am. It's going to be there. Why do I write? Flannery O'Connor said this. Flannery O'Connor once was asked, "Why do you write?" And she said, "Because I'm good at it." And she got all kinds of ire about that. You know, people don't want to hear that. But I write because I know that I was gifted with that. I know that that's a blessing that I've received. I read my brains out growing up. I never intended to be a writer. Like I said, I wanted to be a park ranger, a marine biologist, an RC Cola salesman. The first day of my job was an RC salesman. I remember looking in the rearview mirror and saying, I'm going to do this. It's cheesy, but true. Lasted a year being an RC Cola salesman. But then all of a sudden there was this thing about writing stories that suddenly entered my life, and I had a good time. I enjoyed it. I enjoy writing stories. I enjoy coming up here at 5:30 and just parking here and being able to go. I've written, you know, a lot of books, and every one I get to go on this big adventure, so to speak, of being another person, imagining other lives. So I like it. It's fun. I think that the Christian art can be utilitarian in that it's a lot like Christian music. You have your number of times you're supposed to use the name Jesus in a song for popular Christian radio. But the other day, I like country music, and my wife and I have this ongoing thing. She does not like this stuff. But I came home and said that there was the greatest song on the radio. It was called, I think it was called "Having a Beer with Jesus." And it was not a hokey tune. It was this very plaintive, beautiful song about what I would do if I could have a beer with Jesus. And then the refrain is, how do you turn the other cheek? It's about a guy in a bar, and he's smoking a cigarette, and he's having a beer, and he's chunking change into the jukebox, and imagining Jesus being there and telling me, how do I live? And you're never going to hear this song on a Christian radio station. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about, that isn't utilitarian. It's a portrait of people in need, people in need of redemption, and people in need of forgiveness, people in need of the knowledge that their life isn't in vain, and that done in the guise of a story that isn't going to have necessarily a scene of being born again at the end. The greatest thing that God imbued on us was creation. He created us. We are creators. I mean, that's what we do. We live our lives making things. We make everything. You guys make films. I make books. People make wooden ducks. You know, if you bring the integrity of Christ to carving a wooden duck, it's going to be a really good wooden duck. I'm hoping that people who are puzzling out what does it mean to be a writer and be a Christian will read this and understand that they are not alone, and also understand some ways to think and about their calling, and also to be encouraged by these things. I want people to understand that you can write artful stories, novels, essays, and also be someone who believes in Christ and not feel guilty for it, not feel that you're wasting your time. I just thought of something really cool to say, and I forgot what it was.